Travis Wayne Goodsell. This morning I found that my computer didn't shut off. The screen shut off, but the power light was still on. If you are unaware of what Utah and the LDS Church are capable of doing, I've been telling you the whole time what they've been capable of doing. LDS critics battle against the church's religion. And you can't do that, guys. You got to back off. People have the right to worship how, where, and what they may, even if they're lying to their congregation about what the true doctrine is and the true history of the church is and the true theology, blah, blah, blah. You have to leave religion alone. Only when religion becomes criminal, that's when you need to step in, call it out, and condemn it. And so, Islam, perfectly fine, leave them alone. Don't call them terrorists until they become terrorists. And so, Jews, there's a congresswoman who's not getting kicked out of Congress. I don't understand why the Democrats aren't doing this. She's calling for the assassination of Congresswomen Nancy Pelosi and others, and yet they're not getting her out. What the hell's wrong with them? Democrats have such a weak spine. It's causing problems in our nation. But anyway, she's committed crimes. You can't go around telling people on social media that, you need to put a bullet through Nancy Pelosi's head. That's a crime. Why isn't she being arrested, let alone removed from Congress? And so the church. This is a big tip for ex-Mormons. If you're gonna criticize the church, don't criticize them because Joseph Smith looked in a hat. Don't criticize them because they don't believe in Trinity. That's the wrong approach. You go after them for their racism, for their sexism, for their bigotry, for their hatred, for their execution of the poor, and for other financial crimes. That's what you go after them for. That's how you shut them down. And so, don't be surprised if what happened to the Salt Lake Airport director, remember him? Oh, you forgot? Yeah, that was their intention. Remember, he was arrested from an anonymous tip through Microsoft that he had child porn on his home computer. Over 50,000 images. How the hell did he all of a sudden get 50,000 images on his computer? And, oh gee, what great timing, because Herbert was ordering him to open up the Salt Lake Airport, and he was saying, no, lives are more important than the economy, Herbert. And so it's a good thing we got rid of him, huh? So that we can save the economy. So yeah, don't be surprised if that gets done to me. It's already been attempted. I've talked on videos where I found, as I was going on my I found a file. And I went to check on the file. And in the process of checking on the file, there were files within files within files. And so I had to keep going through the different files. What the hell is this? What's going on? And then all of a sudden, I saw files getting deleted right before my very eyes. I'm going, oh crap, I'm being hacked. What's going on? And so I immediately shut off my computer, turn it back on, check for the files that were left. There were still a ton of files. Gay porn. I guess they thought they'd get me on gay porn, I guess. I don't understand. they should have known I like little red-headed girls. So Zoe's new show, Nancy Drew's new show on CW, you know. But nope. No, they thought they'd be clever and tried gay porn. So yeah, that's all been deleted. I don't know why they thought they had to delete it. But nonetheless, it can be done, and if the church orders it, it will be done, and you'll never hear from me ever again. Similar to what happened to me on my old channel. And that's what this video is going to be about, just an overview. I still have to upload the Exposing the Sacred Secret in LDS Temples. I did that last night. It's all ready to go. And so you'll see that first, because I'm hoping I'll do that video. I hope I don't put this video in its place and then call this Sacred Secret Temples. But yeah, just reviewing LDS dates for the return to Independence, Missouri. People have been silent now on that one. It's somewhat slowed. It reached 38,000. Yeah, 38,000. That's how good I used to be. So you look on my channel and you see, oh, he only has 40 views. Yeah. This is how bad YouTube shut me down by orders of the church. This was done back in July of 2017. I have been warning of this the whole time, in advance. I knew what that meant. And then we have LDS Church President Nelson changes temple text, still gets it wrong. That was the original one. The updated one, again, is my #1 video on this channel. And so the video that I did last night, it goes over it plus the others. And yes, I was right, because in this video on this other channel, I put in my guess that they most likely gave Eve the extra speaking role from the Book of Moses. And sure enough, as of last night, after 2 years, I was confirmed right. Amazing how I knew this. And all women were going, oh wow, it's so great to see that the church is allowing more rights to women. Yeah, they played you for chumps. God. Alright, and then the next one was LDS Church President Nelson destroys the family unit with new temple changes. That was sort of a mockery, because you don't really destroy the family unit, but it had to do with what I covered last night as I went over it. But this was what I heard, that the first covenant of obedience, women no longer obey their husbands. And sure enough, they don't. But, like I said, it was a trap. Let's see, am I still in here? No, I need to... Okay. Whoops. Alright, and then, interestingly, President Nelson, new church president. This was with the announcement of Nelson, and it wasn't through the process that I had been born and raised to understand. Is because the church had been deceiving us. The church had been in the practice of always putting in the president of the Quorum of the 12 because of the 1923 reincorporation of the church. Reincorporation? What's going on with that? Why did the church need to be reincorporated? It's because they ceased to exist because of polygamy. The government of the United States of America came and shut them down. And so the church, however, refused to inform the membership that this is how it was going to be from now on. And so the Mary Jane, the LDS church history professor, still works there. She's learned to keep quiet. Not like those September 6 evil people. Antichrist. She was saying that even I could become the president of the church. And I was saying, no. I'm just a regular elder. No, you can. No, that's not how it's done. And I'm divorced. And she said, no, even divorced people can be chosen. And I said, but all these excuses. And she kept saying, no, even you can be chosen. And so even the church history professors who know Joseph Smith's policy are kept in the dark in regards to the church's actual practice since their reincorporation in 1923, where it is forever exactly like the American crime family. If you're unaware of that structure, where the counselors are working for the boss, being the ones to counsel the boss, and then the underboss is the president of the Quorum of the 12, and then the lieutenants are the 12 apostles, and then the soldiers are the rest of the Melchizedek priesthood, but especially the 70. And then the associates, is that what they're called? Are the local township here in Utah who aren't Mormon, but who know their place not to go against the church and to aid and abet the church and turn a blind eye to what the church does. And you've seen those confrontations here in Utah with the strip club. It wasn't, well, I'd never been there, so I'm not quite sure. They had the basement level to conform and comply with the city's requirements. But the church came in and claimed that they needed to be gone. And so the city, in conformance with the church, looked at the blueprints and found that the basement went 1 foot into the 200-foot radius from a school, and they were able to shut them down. And then you got the other XXX whatever that used to be right there on the backside of the hospital, Intermountain whatever, that went and then built on to their hospital. And so they had to get rid of that strip club, dance club, or whatever it was. So that's how the church functions. The Zion curtain, yeah, by the church. and so, yeah, just sickening. But that's the power that the church has as they enforce their Luciferian plan of happiness upon everybody, whether you want to be Mormon or not. And then we have April 2019 LDS Conference Review, second session, part 1. This was when Russia helped me. Because there's others from that session. April 2019 LDS Conference Review, first session, part 1, first session, part 2, second session, part 1. So all the Saturday ones. I put out the call, Russia, if you're listening. I'd like to expose the church. Please help me with views on YouTube for this session of conference, and they conformed and complied, sort of. They're in control, Travis, not you. You don't tell Russia what to do. They tell you what they will do. But yeah, that's how it works. And I'm kind of disappointed in Russia. They sort of have betrayed me after losing the first lawsuit, I guess. They're unaware of the second one. But I think they got the point that you can't beat the church in lawsuits. And then here's my warning for 15 May 2018. Gee, I wonder what happened on that day over in Jerusalem. And then shocking LDS breaking news. LDS Mormons kiss the ring of the Pope with the Vatican Temple. And then here we have LDS Mormon Church finds ancient records at Adam-on-Diamond. If you're not paying attention to all the videos, then you don't understand about the Knights Templar. And this is my attempt to help people get into the step-by-step process to that point. And Mormons all insist, no, I want meat first before milk. I can take it. No, you can't handle the truth. It's too horrifying even for me, but I still press forward. Dear God. I had no idea what I was getting into, but I knew what was coming with that first video back in July. Oh dear God. LDS Mormon Church President Nelson refuses to build New Jerusalem, Missouri Temple. I've got the Terminator 2. Nuclear apocalypse. And then here, this one was a big one. Here I expose the stats and the church's collapse of membership. This was before I found out that the church had lost like 13 million back in 2012. I think that's what they had. And so it would have to have been 8 million back in 2012. And so they've kept losing each year since. Because with 16 million, I did this stats video going to the church membership stats for each stake in each country and realized, no, there's no way the church has 16 million active membership. The active membership would have to be around 3 million, according to the number of stakes and wards. And thus the video exposing its collapse. And so when I saw the other video, I realized, oh crap, the church has been losing ever since the internet. Internet did away with the church. President Nelson, coming days. That's just his quote from conference. From the very first conference, where he said, Russia, if you're listening, our Mormons are cheering you because we're doing business with our enemy, America's enemy. Yeah, Nelson's working with Russia. Russia is working to destroy America. They're doing a very good job. They've convinced a lot of people to be insurrectionists. Isn't that great? And so yes, Nelson is a part of it. That's why he's not shutting down the church during a coronavirus. Did you understand this? No, you didn't. That's why I've been warning you. Go after them for their crimes. And then here, wow, 4 years ago, my Paleo-Hebrew alphabet, part 1, the first and last letters. This is what I was intending YouTube to be all about. Simple, honest, going over Paleo-Hebrew and my Egyptian decipherments and discoveries. Wasn't going to touch the church. But because the church touched me, don't touch me there. I had to fight back. Me too. And so, yeah, this was what my YouTube was going to be for me. This channel was my attempt to go back to this. But nope, the church shut me down on this channel. So therefore, I had to now turn this channel into a critic channel. You know, if you want somebody to leave you alone, leave them alone. It's not hard. And as a result, I've provided you with all this information critical of the church, of their crimes, not necessarily of their doctrines, though I do correct current Mormonism, saying, hey, it's not like Joseph's Mormonism. That's a big difference, too. And so, yeah, another one here, restoring the Torah, the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet, a new theory. Huh. You'd think that would be harmless. That the church wouldn't see that as me taking away their authority in the eyes of the people. That they're not translators. And here I am saying, oh yeah, Joseph is a translator. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? Church is true. How dare you, Travis? You will be silent. We will destroy you. You know. Here's the LDS Mormon Church Temple Crisis. That's when I realized that the church under Nelson were no longer following the previous conservative fiscal practice. Tithing used to be the means of controlling the building of temples, and until Monson died. And then under Nelson, all of a sudden, oh, we're building a temple in a land where there are no members? What's going on? Why? So, yeah, especially they were doing it in places where there weren't enough members to justify a temple. Because it used to be based on the number of temple-worthy priesthood holders, because they're the presiders in the home and the breadwinners. Women need to stay home pregnant in the kitchen, looking all hot and sexy in that little apron. But yeah, that's how it was done. It was based on the number of those who are paying tithing. And so in each place where you build a temple, you have to reach that number to justify a temple. And Russia was one of those that weren't. So, what are you doing, guys? What are you up to? And I exposed it there. That was just a 10-minute video. And yeah, so I do have that picture, I just can't find it yet. What a mess. You know, when you start something, you don't anticipate how big it's going to compile into the future. And if I had known what I know now, I would have had a file system set up from the beginning and then put the pictures into the various files as I got them. So, yeah, R-rated Mormons. LDS Mormon Church to be Illuminati Church. See, I'm all well aware of this. Egyptian prophecy of the end of the world. What to expect at LDS April 2019 General Conference. Oh, did I nail that one? Oh, dear God. Alrighty. So, yeah, the last ones that I did, date added, go back to newest. Yeah, you can see the last one is for sale. It is a cyberbully. He was the one who shut me down. He attacked me. He bullied me using his business channel to do it. Not his personal channel, That's his business. He's stationed in Idaho. Because he went and attacked me on my website, too. And so I was able to find out where his IP address is from. But I don't know how to hack like the YouTube employees do. And so, he filed a complaint that I was bullying him on my channel and ruining his business, as he's the one who's attacking me on my channel. And of course the YouTube Mormon employees, oh, you poor guy. Yeah, we'll shut Travis down. We'll get him. And so you can see that I was starting to do videos on the real LDS Church history, as I did one right before that. Lucy Sr. and Lucy Mack, that's where I started with my book, and so I was going to do a video on it, go over it. Real LDS Church history introduction, full extended intro LDS Mormon Church clip. Comment replies, I'm telling Kwaku to back off of It's Me Jesse. Oh my God. Kwaku and his little band of racist, sexist, bigoted haters? Oh dear God. What they were saying about It's Me Jesse? Oh dear God. That is not even Mormon-like. But, Kwaku got promoted and is now an official apologist for the church, as he's getting his butt kicked now. See, back when he was doing it himself with his little band of racist sexists, and yes, Kwaku is black, and yes, they had a girl brought on occasionally. But that doesn't mean that they're not racist and sexist and bigoted. Just look at Burgess Owens. He's an insurrectionist for the church, going against Black Lives Matter. How much he's fallen. What if Brigham Young didn't murder Joseph Smith? And then there's my one-on-one with the late President James E. Faust. And then comment replies. I had a whole thing on comment replies. None of these were put into playlists. I didn't do playlists until somebody recommended it on this channel and did it here. But the Mormon Deadpool. LDS Mormon consequences of unsound church apologies, and it got me rubbing my eye. Mormon prophet renounces the faith on his deathbed. I saw that meme. I couldn't resist. I had to obtain it and put it as the thumbnail. But there were some, Scott's family, remember when Scott died? There were, the Mormon community spreads gossip like wildfire. Scott's family were complaining that Elder Scott was telling them that he was disapproving of what the church presidency or the church was wanting to go in a direction for. And then he dies. And so the family is like, what's going on? He was complaining, now he's dead. Our patriarch is dead because he was complaining. So, yeah, it is not below or above. Is it below or above the church to do such hideous murder of their own if they don't get their way? So when they claim that they have to be in complete harmony with each other and complete agreement or nothing gets done, yeah. You conform and comply, things will get done. And then here's the LDS Mormon Church, subject to Trump and obeying. And here's the Passover. We're going to end with this. They're following the enemy, the Illuminati, the inverted pentagram, the church, GOP. They're following the biblical prophecies, using John's Revelation star dates to make it all happen. It's right now. It also comes from Passover, which comes from the Exodus in the Bible, the Torah, with Moses, which Mormons, we're supposed to be all about that. A man like Moses leads the Mormons to rebuild Zion. Yeah, that ain't going to happen under this church because they're the enemy. But Passover. What happened with the Passover of Moses? Coronavirus. What happened last year with the Passover? The news covered it. Jewish synagogues were closing up because of coronavirus. The Jews all recognized the comparison. Mormon Church remain open. We have Passover coming up. This year, which began last year, on the evening when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. It is now 3,333 years since the Jewish Exodus, according to their calendar dating system. Like I told you, the enemy are using the prophecies to attack. The Illuminati infiltrated the Scottish Rites Freemasonry. The highest degree, rank, for Scottish Rites is the honorary one of 33 degrees. They have the seal of the double eagle. 3333. Russia has that same symbol, by the way, that seal. So if you paid attention to when Trump went to speak at a college, and the college created the seal of the presidency, patterned after Russia with golf clubs. Not a coincidence, though they should have put inverted pentagrams instead of the regular pentagram stars. They weren't too up on their symbols. But we have Passover now coming up. We're still in the year 3333 from the time of the Torah Passover, the Exodus, of the coronavirus. This is what I was concerned about. When Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, I was concerned that we had a month time. Oh boy, was I deceived. Here I am using truth to correct the scriptures, not realizing that the enemy is not fully up to date on the true interpretation of scripture. They're using the traditional interpretation of Scripture. Thus, we have a major warning from Health and Homeland Security of the domestic terrorists clear through till May 1st even. The anniversary of the Illuminati? But, yeah, we're not out of the woods yet. There's a lull right now, as Biden is providing us with a distraction, sort of. But like I said, we have congresswomen who are ordering the assassination of other congresspeople. And lest we forget, President Ezra Taft Benson expounded upon Joseph Smith, saying that the Constitution would hang by a thread, by adding, "It will not be saved in Washington." And is Benson on Joseph Smith's side, or does he know? Yeah, he's a part of the enemy. So don't be fooled. More is to come.